Oh, all right. I'm getting a message that says we're live.
Okay.
It looks like there's a little bit of delay, but that's expected. I think that's how
Yeah.
streaming works.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the page. I'm gonna full screen. Now, are you able to find the stream now so you can share it to all your friends?
Friends, strong word.
It's a very
I
strong word. All right,
cannot
people.
find it yet.
People
Oh
who
wait,
pass
wait,
on the
yeah,
bus.
yes, there it is. Let me have a look.
Do you take a bus? Do you catch buses?
Sweet. Me, I catch buses all the time.
Yeah.
And yes, I have found the stream.
What's your favorite bus route?
508. It's pretty solid.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
Yeah, I think that's the one. It's probably the only one I catch. All right, let me share this baby around.
All right, shouts
I
out
will
to the
say.
508.
And all those sorry souls who ride it the day. It is. Hang on. Fuck, I'm trying to talk and do things at the same time. This is what I got to get good at if I'm going to stream with you.
That's all right. I'll take the mic. Hello and welcome, everybody.
Yeah, why don't you do an introduction about what this? Yeah.
This show is called ImagineRy. It has like a little pun because my friend Rye is the co-host and his name is within that word, ImagineRy. It's like a factory that produces images or imagination, or both, and both. I'm Giles, and this
I'm
is...
ImagineRy.
No,
Hey,
this show is the ImagineRy. You're just the Re.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep talking because I'm still doing stuff. Fucking hell.
So we're going to produce some images. We're both digital artists slash cartoonists slash webcomics,
yeah, sure.
graphic artists. And so I haven't actually yet told you the idea I have for today.
Okay, well, let me just quickly share this, and then we can go from there.
Okay, cool.
So you'll just have to hear me doing a bit for a second.
That's all right. That's all right.
It's gonna sound absurd.
The setup is what it's all about. A lot of people will tune in for the setup and then leave once we get into the meat of the episode. So
once we start talking, they're gonna be like, yeah, quick smart. Hey, babies! Haven't been doing much art lately, but I'm streaming live now with my friend, Reverend Giles. What a time we're having on the link in my bio. Should have said that first. Oh, right. Link in bio.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh, hang on. I didn't say what we're doing. Hang on. Let me do that again. Hey, babies! I haven't done this. I haven't made much content lately, visual content. But I'm streaming drawing with my friend Reverend Giles now. So links in the bio. What a fun time! There we go.
Excellent. Grande appreciado.
I was gonna do it one more time for my other account.
Yeah.
Because I have so many accounts.
Wow, it really is 2019.
That's right.
It is absolutely society in 2019.
All right, there we go. That's that one. Let me just wait for that to post, and then I'll do another one. All right. Why don't you tell me the idea while we wait for that to happen?
So just a sec. I've got to check my emails.
All right, sure. That seems like the wrong time to do that. While you're doing
I'm
that,
just joking. Okay, here we go.
No, I'm actually going to do the other shout out now.
You need to check out your emails?
No, I need to do another thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
G'day, I'm streaming live now, doing a bit of drawing with my mate Giles, Reverend Giles. Links in the bio if you're interested in that kind of shit. Fun times. That one was slightly less energetic.
That's all right. Which apps were these two?
That was to Instagram.
What
I
was the
posted it on
first
my
one?
also Instagram, but my other account
Okay.
because I've got two different accounts for two different purposes. One's for the toons, one's for the baboons.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
post
yeah.
only baboons. Alright, I'm done with all that shit now. Let's do
Hell
this.
yeah.
Have you got a thing up so you can see how many people are watching, and also
Nah.
are they able to comment?
So yes, they are. Um, I was gonna try and do it from my phone, but I actually don't know how to do that. Oh, here we go. I can actually stream from my phone.
Well, I've got the stream up, so I can just sit in here as Raph, and I can just keep an eye on the chat as well.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. In fact, you should be
other screen.
You should be chat lord.
Yeah. So
Tell people not to say things.
yeah.
Now, if I look at it and if I see how many people are watching, it'll like change my demeanor. Anyway.
Sure. It says there's two people watching now, but I guarantee they're both me. All right, I've got the chat up. Oh, I can even pop it out. Fuck yeah.
The reason this episode so far is just a blank screen and talking is because we haven't done this before. Okay.
Yeah.
That was me talking to the audience, not.
No, I know.
Cool. I'll sound a little different, I think, when I'm talking to the audience.
Sure.
Okay, today, welcome everybody. Today we're going to talk about Joker while making a Joker meme.
Ah, okay, yeah, cool.
What do you think about that, Ray?
Yeah, I said okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Oh, you need the link to the actual Aggie, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I have nothing up.
Okay, alright,
Yeah,
this is
nothing
an
to do.
absolute disaster. Oh my
This is-
gosh.
I'm sure most first streams are way worse than.
Here we go. Copy. We'll have to do this first in future because if people
Oh hell, fucking.
see the code, they'd be able to join during the stream, which would make things quite interesting.
Ah, that's actually a great idea for future episodes though as well. That we can.
So some troll can join in and just start drawing dicks all over what we're doing.
They'll just do swastikas, and I just don't want to welcome that kind of trolling.
Yeah.
But then again, we might have.
We don't want Jains and Buddhists and Hindus in this.
We might have amazing fans. Hey, which
we might have a spotless community.
Yeah, be the first one.
Yeah, Joker's going to attract a spotless community.
Oh, I look forward to this discussion. That's going to be fun. Have you watched the Red Letter Media take on it?
Yes. I found myself annoyed with Jay Bauman of Red Letter Media fame.
Yeah, totally. I strongly disagree. Almost
I
everything.
suddenly realized how like sort of pretentious he is.
Yeah, totally. But I think that works for the show. I think he probably needs to have that, but I don't agree with what he says.
He needs to have this.
I
know. He sounds a bit stupid, but he needs this. Okay. So.
I liked that. Why have I forgotten the other guy's name? What's his fucking name? Mike.
It's because they're really basic names.
I like that Mike disagreed with him openly and was like, "Yep, cool, but you're wrong," which I thought was good to see. Alrighty, let's dive on in.
So my idea, right?
Yeah.
Is it'll be I want the text "No bullying, please," but like
Mm-hmm.
with the Joker, just like with a gun,
Mm-hmm.
maybe smoking a big joint or something, and just like it'll look like one of those kids anti-bullying ads, but it's like yeah, should we say spoilers? I should write spoilers in the name of the stream even. Um,
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Why can't so I've got the stream up. Oh no, it's not playing this way. Yeah, let me mute the stream so I can see what it looks like. Oh, there we go. There we go. Cool, cool.
this is
So
such
what?
good etiquette. To put spoilers in the title is such respectful etiquette. Um,
This is now I can see how big the delay is. It's huge. There's a massive delay. Those lines are only just getting drawn now on the stream.
hmm.
Hmm.
Is it smooth though?
Yeah, it looks pretty smooth. There's gonna be another one. And now I'm seeing you edit the episode.
Yeah. Okay. So there it is.
Yeah,
Um,
just for
you
future
know,
episodes as well. Even
that's
now
life. That's
you
life.
can.
That's a reference to Joker. That song played 3 times.
Mm, yeah. Um, you can have another. You can stream from another window that's like just the canvas of Aggie. So you can have a um. So that way the viewers
Oh,
always see the
I,
full
I
canvas.
I like tried that.
Yeah. I did it once.
You know
Well,
what? I'll
my
look into that a bit more. I will.
yeah, sure. Yeah, it doesn't matter right now.
I can't do it right now.
Yeah.
We're
All
in the
right.
middle of a goddamn stream, right? Can you have a little bit of?
I'm gonna like. I've liked the stream, so we are at 100% like rate so far.
Ooh, I like that.
Wait, we got 2 likes. What?
What?
How was there two? How was there 2 likes? Let me
It was not
reload.
me.
Yeah, it's 2 likes.
So I'm not a.
So
I'm
there are
not.
2 people watching.
I'm not.
I just don't know who. Whoever, if there is somebody else watching, and that's not just a second me, there's
Well, let's give him
the
something to look at, right? Come on.
yeah,
Come
sorry.
on now. Come on now.
Just comment and tell us what we're doing wrong with this stream, so that we can get better.
So, let's not draw in the white zone.
Sure.
So it's like a little bit squarer, and we'll upload to social media better.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. In fact, I hate looking at that white, so like I'll just make this like a dark blue.
Once you get a basic idea of what we're going to draw, then we can start discussing.
So yeah, like no bullying, please, but like mm, we do this every week, but all of a sudden I'm like doubting my abilities.
It's because you got um, you're live, baby. So much more scary when you're live. There's no taking it back.
So
If you say that you support Gina Reinhardt, that shit lasts forever. That's in stone now.
so let's
Can't
start
wait
with a
to.
rakist. Let's start with a racist caricature.
Okay. I mean, I see how that could be. One.
It's not. It's just Joker. You know me, right? You know me.
I do. All right, yeah. So Joker's face. Good. There he is. He's up here. That's his. Yeah, some eyebrow. And he's all like, "Oh shit."
Nah. You can't
Just
just
call it.
write, oh shit. That's so black.
Oh shit! I did not even think about it. No, this is off to a flying start. Let's get his Let's just. I'm gonna dive on in here. I'm gonna save this fucking
Yeah,
stream.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bring
Save
us
us from being DMCA'd.
out of the fucking muck. What's his face look like? So is this a big? Is this like a big head? Is that what we're saying? You know what I mean? Like so, like
we
that's.
Yes, yes, perfect.
See what I'm
Yep.
saying? Good.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Now there is no arguments about
There's
his
no
heritage.
racial confusion or tension.
Um. All right. This stream is already
Gold.
pushing the pushing the
Yeah,
boundaries
we're pushing the
of
boundaries of
what I
comedy.
am comfortable with. No, no. That's well, bam, there it is. Wait, what's this blue bit? Sorry, at the bottom, so that we don't draw
That's the no-go zone. We're gonna stick
no good
just draw
zone.
within the black zone.
Ah, yeah, okay.
You can go over it like that, of course.
Yeah, sure. All right, that's his head.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
like
can
that.
tell. I can tell.
Yeah. Okay. Um.
Can you erase just like underneath his mouth so it's like black?
Oh yeah, sure. That makes sense.
Cool. Now, beautiful. I'm loving that.
So,
I'm loving
I don't
this.
know why I'm doing it that way.
There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Because
His
it's all
mouth.
about now you're gonna get judged on like the smoothness of your brush
Yeah, yeah,
strokes.
yeah, yeah.
So
I am not.
a stroker,
I'm not. I'm not a very good
an avid
artiste, I
stroke,
woke say.
an avid stroke.
I was chatting to some friends yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, I want a new job, yo yo," and they were like, "Oh shit, well,
Well,
you know
why
what you
don't
should."
you say so?
I got a job you can do.
It's under the table though, okay?
um, Bam. See, look at that. That was pretty smooth. There's his nose.
Yeah, nice, very nice.
Are we doing like you know how I draw faces? So if I draw this face, it's going to look like all the other faces I draw.
Well, start just then. Let's change this.
Okay.
Can you remember his makeup from the movie, or do you have to like grab a reference
I
image?
no, I never use reference images.
That's that a boy. That a boy.
um,
Just start with the
yes,
makeup then. Just draw like
yeah.
some clownish makeup and just
I
like
don't remember. I don't remember the colors, but I know that he had that going on, bit of that, which man, to be honest, it's probably my favorite style of clown makeup.
there needs to be enough room for him to have like a gun.
Yeah, well, you can just have it sticking out his teeth here. It's just a little gun or just like we'll just have his hand come up here and be holding a gun. Maybe he can be smelling the gunpowder, the smoke coming off the gun. You know what I mean?
Maybe here let me do the face. Do you reckon you could just do?
Yeah,
Do you reckon you could do insane weird like details on his mouth?
yeah, yeah,
Um,
of course.
like cause he's a
Yeah, you get,
smoker. Put like just like yellow,
yeah, on the teeth
like
and shit.
yellow, like crusty bits. Like
Yeah, got it, got it,
cool, cool,
got it.
cool, cool, cool. All right.
Okay, I know
In
exactly what
fact, I'm
you're talking
gonna leave the mouth. I'm gonna leave the mouth so you can actually erase it and shit. So,
No, 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 leave that how it is. I'm that.
well, if just make if you want to like, never mind. I've left the layer. You can join it if you want.
Yeah, I can
Okay,
just
here we
go.
go.
I can just put it on top anyway.
The head shape is perfect. I'm gonna work with that, but
Thank you very much. But yeah, somebody was like, "Oh, what you want a job? Why he's become like a graphic designer?" Well, for starters, terrible idea. It's
In this
way.
economy,
Well,
come
I mean, kind of,
on,
though,
come
right?
on.
Like, it's like jobs like that are so insanely difficult to get off the ground at the start without any education. Um, but also that's just such a classic thing, and it does kind of annoy me with with people who talk to their artist friends. And they're like, "Oh my god, but you'd be so good at drawing, so you can do all these things." I was like,
Yeah,
"No,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
no, I
yeah.
can draw one very particular thing that figured out for myself.
Yeah.
But because I draw cartoons, like, yeah, I can't draw a fucking uh, oil painting of a cat licking itself. That's
Yeah,
insane."
and that's like the majority of that kind of that line of work. Um, yeah, we've been in
Yeah,
this industry long enough to know that like if you don't know how
99%
if you
oil
can't oil
paintings of
paint
cats.
like yeah, basically, you know, have you ever heard the story of Leonardo da Vinci?
Um, yeah. What? Yeah, I've heard of
he
him.
he
Is that the
like
question?
he just walked into a job once, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've heard this. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I won't tell it.
yeah. Good stream.
You've had it. No, yeah, and he just drew a perfect circle on the board. On the
Yeah. Yeah, that means fucking nothing. That's such a stupid story. Because I used to like that story a lot when I was a kid. I was like, wow, amazing. But now hearing it again, like, that's so fucking dumb.
yeah,
Imagine hiring that guy off that, and then it turns out, well, one, he's colorblind. This isn't true. Leonardo da Vinci wasn't colorblind, but you don't know shit. It's like, well, wow, he can draw a perfect circle. Get him to build or paint the 16th chapel. That sounds like a great idea.
well,
And then it
that
turns
wasn't
out
him.
he's,
That was Michelangelo
yeah,
who did the
yeah, yeah.
Sistine Chapel. In fact, was it
Well,
Michelangelo who did the perfect circle?
it might be Michelangelo who did the perfect
Okay,
circle. I think that might be
so
the
yeah,
story.
we both studied art history at
at
in prison.
at okay. Uh-huh.
Um,
Does that sound like does that kind of make you want to commit a crime? Like the idea that
free education.
if you yeah, if you go to prison, it depends on which country you're in, but if you go to prison and you have the option of learning while you're in there, and be like, well, I mean, in a way, it's kind of the best way to force myself to actually hit the fucking books.
Like no distractions.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there is distractions. There's getting shanked.
yeah, but like that's it's like a really momentary distraction.
Mm,
You know, like a shanking's done in like 10 seconds. You know, that's just 10 seconds out of your life.
true. I mean, it has to heal, but yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, or even like if you've got like a really nice big cellmate, a really big dude, and he
Mm,
says like, "Yo, I'm gonna beat your ass if you don't get an A in this test."
yeah. He's actually just looking out for you. He just really cares about your education. He
What about
knows it's. You could do like a fucking what's that movie with Matt Damon in it? Goodwill Hunting. Could do a
Fight Club?
Goodwill. No, what? No, absolutely. What were we talking about? Michelangelo.
Yeah. So,
He might be colorblind. He could also be like a filthy racist, and he's actually only going for the job so he can paint really awful images on your 16th chapel.
16th
And
chapel.
this is the 16th one. Well, I don't understand what the confusion is.
We're also history majors.
Um, the way I started to do the details on the lips, if I continue along that road, it's just going to look like his lips are just a red tube around
That's
the
fine.
outside.
That's totally fine.
All right, I'm going to stick with it because it might be funny at the end. We'll find out. Let's see. In the future, I would love to get it so that we have cool, like bands and shit playing their music on the stream.
Yeah, that'd
Wouldn't
be
that be fun,
cool. That'd be cool.
right? Give a little shout outs, be like, "Yo, this is, fuck." Oh my god, I
No, you're
am
doing good. You're doing good.
potentially one of the worst at improvising.
No,
Yep.
no.
Yeah. I can improvise one in character, like when we did our Watto and Motto thing.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
I think I did pretty well. But if I've got my own voice on, improvisation is not happening. What does that
Well,
say?
just have some fun with it. Start a sentence and then just don't be yourself after that.
Yeah, that's the last you've ever heard of. That's the last you ever saw of me. That last line.
I reckon part of improv is actually daring to to not be funny. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes and I reckon a lot of people who are good at improv probably
Mm-hmm.
won't admit this, but if you've got a
Mm.
partner who will literally pretend the thing you said that you just said was funny and
Mm.
give it save it by doing something else with it or taking it somewhere.
Mm.
I think when they teach stand up, they teach you the yes and. You're
Yeah,
meant to
yeah,
enable the thing that the last person said and not just go,
yeah,
What the fuck do you mean by that?"
yeah.
Um,
I remember Louis C.K. talking about he did a little bit of improv, I think, but he was that guy. He actively tried to be a dick, and he never would do yes and. He would just kill every bit dead in its tracks. And but because of that, he got loads of laughs on stage from the audience because they thought it
mm,
was hilarious to watch him just railroad everything.
he sounds like a bit of a cunt, to be honest.
Well, from what we, yeah, for many reasons we have heard that he's a bit of a
What are
douchebag.
the other reasons?
Oh, you haven't heard?
No, wait.
He
My favorite comedian Louis C.K. has
he
done things other than stepped on people's improv bits.
he also writes fraudulent checks to orphanages that take care of baby ducks.
Oh shit!
And it's just like kicks for him. He just thinks it's
He
funny to
gets a
watch them go.
chuckle out of that.
Yeah, watch them go to the bank and then um, it's like I've got my ducks in a row, but now it's time to feed them, and I've got no money, and
Fuck! I thought you were gonna say that he was gay.
I don't see how that would be an issue.
That
Oh my
was
god!
my Louis C.K. moment. I just railroaded.
Yeah, that was pretty railroaded.
Railroad.
Good. This is good.
Do you reckon that's a term because they just built railroads through people's properties?
That's actually, hey, that's good. That's an interesting.
You look
That's
like
good.
you
That's
go
good concept.
outside to tend to your sheep or whatever, and there's just these people just going, "Yep, railroad's coming right through here."
Yeah, yeah.
You're building a
Um,
fucking railroad on my yard.
such meaning. Railroaded phrase origin. Let's find out. The term railroad, in the sense of having something forced through, either unjustly or without proper regard for those affected, clearly has its origins in an analogy to the way early railroads were built, often running straight through private lands and geographic features.
Yeah, wow, called it.
That's so fucking good. I picture Randy Marsh as the foreman who's staying
I'm
there with a
being
clipboard
fucking
like,
railroaded.
yeah, no, just yep, yeah, I say we put it right through here now. It's like there's a happy family playing in the fields and tending to their corn and shit. And they're like it's a good harvest this year, Papa. Yeah, man, things are really kicking off for us. We're pretty soon we're gonna have enough money to get out of here and head to the
Here
big
at
city.
Tegrity Farms.
Get Grandpa the medicine that he needs, and then Rain yeah, right through here, and then horses. I assume horses at that point come stampeding through and just railroad these people's lives. Of course, that wouldn't exist. That phrase wouldn't exist at that point. It was being invented. That'd be great if the person who was most best known for constructing railroads, their Wikipedia said that they invented the term railroading by being an absolute cunt. And just literally railroading people. That's some good shit right there.
So, We both saw the Joker.
Oh yeah, that's what we're here for. This stream's been going for 29 minutes already, and we've barely spoken about the Joker. Your face is 1,000 times better than the direction I was taking it in.
It's all about diving in the deep end.
You got a good eye, and you got a good pair of lips, and you got a good.
Cheers. You know what? I haven't had a goddamn compliment on my lips in a long time, so thank you.
Have you had them in the past?
So?
Has somebody commented on your lips in the past?
Every kiss is a compliment to my lips.
Okay. All right, Casanova. Hey, this is good. I'm looking at the stream now, and yeah, I like the layout of the border and everything. It's nice.
Yeah, do you like the writing I did on the right?
Yeah.
And there's like a little animal patterns, and
Mm.
I made it so you can only see the layers and the image.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff.
Cool. Man, I got some messages from a person that I feel bad not immediately replying to, but I'm not going to. Like, that's going to be my rule while I'm streaming. Like, I feel like I have to say something to this person, but too bad. Bad timing.
Wait, I'm confused. Sorry, what? You...
Oh, I got some Facebook messages from someone. I feel like I should reply to, just like on moral principle, but
okay.
But
But
too
it has
bad.
to wait.
Too bad. Yeah, it has to wait.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That's fine. I might make a coffee though.
Wait, what did you say?
I might make a coffee though.
I wonder
Yeah,
if like you can do like pauses.
Don't know.
That's it.
But-
Look, let's just make them wait. Let's just make whoever's watching wait.
We should what we should do is we should create some images for future streams that have like
back in 5.
back in 5 going to get coffee or something like that. Yeah.
Tell you what,
I've seen Danny Brown do that when he streams. He just is like, all right, I gotta go do some washing. Here's some material off my new album. Just and puts it on and walks away.
here, let's do this. I'm
Yeah.
gonna write intermission, and I'm gonna mute the audio.
I actually don't need to go anywhere. I'm not actually gonna make a coffee anyway.
Oh, what?
No. That was just
That was a joke?
Yeah, like it's a very
Oh shit.
joke. It's just
Okay, we're
because-
back, fellas. That was a real quick intermission, fellas and girls.
It's just because every time we ever recorded the podcast together, I would always bail and go get coffee, and we would never stop recording.
Yes.
We would just let it go.
Beautiful, beautiful podcast.
I would love to do do Coprolalia again at some point.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, me too.
If we have an audience already on something else that we're working on. Like building an audience with Coprolalia is
not gonna happen.
bit of a tall order because it's such a fuck off show. But I can probably get a few people from my other podcast to come and listen, so that's a start. But yeah, let's just see how
Let's
this.
talk
stream
about
thing-
other projects later.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I shouldn't
Let's,
be plugging on my
that's
shit.
alright.
yet.
That's alright. That's don't worry. You're on your first strike. You need about 5 before I kick you the fuck out of here. Okay.
Okay.
All right. No worries.
Can I know what I can't do?
Can you know?
Is it possible?
It's getting a little.
I've really flat. What do you call it? Flat nibbed. I'm flat.
You can do whatever you
flat
want.
nibbing over here.
Just don't say
Cross
that we're in a society. Don't
Whoever first said that though.
I don't know. I think it might have been Plato or Aristotle.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm running out of nibs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I flatten my nibs out quick smart. And then I keep them. foolishly. So then I have to go through and look at them and go, this one's flat, this one's flat, and I never know how many I've got left. It's absurd. Absurd way to live. This one's good.
That I don't know what to do to this goddamn picture. Um. All right. How about okay? You switch to the pupils. Draw some like fun pupils on the eyes. And I'm gonna start on the teeth.
All right, sounds good. I'm just responding to messages, just like you said you weren't going to. Oh yeah, I see what you're going for. Hey, this image actually has a bit of a little bit of a what's his name? What's the guy called? Umami
Oh
vibe to
yeah.
it, which I really really like. It's a good angle. I think it's the angle, and that the gray lines there. Anyway, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go and do the eyes. Hey, Giles, we both
Mm.
saw Joker.
Oh yeah
And we
yeah yeah
haven't.
yeah 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 yeah
It's
yeah yeah.
Hey, I'm looking now. It's 35 minutes in, so cut this later. Now you know.
So, what did you think?
Um, yeah, I actually really loved it. But apparently I do need to take this call. I'm getting a message saying that like because
Okay,
I
all
hung
right, all
up.
right, all right, all right, all right. I'll
But you can keep going. You can just stream without me. Just keep talking.
do you know how long it'll be?
No, I'll keep it really short.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, go for it.
There's literally nobody watching. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, but
think.
the video exists on the channel forever.
That's true. Well, so just keep talking. No reason why you can't.
All
If you
right.
can't keep content going by yourself, then get out of this.
Hey, all right, go take your bloody phone call. All right,
I'll be
go
right.
and
I'll be
get
right.
out of here. Get out of here.
Actually, I'm just gonna mute self. Should be.
Alrighty. I liked the Joker. I'm more interested in
How do I
why.
mute myself?
On Discord. You know how to mute yourself on Discord.
Yeah, I think I figured it out. There's a mute
Okay.
button.
Yeah. Yep.
Could you hear me going bum 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 bum?
I don't
Wait,
know how to answer.
not then.
The mute button should work. Yeah, I can't hear you, so yeah, you're all good. Ah. I think I think people who I think The Joker is a really good movie because it shows how there's a lot of tension in society, and you got a lot of unwell people out there who are angry and disenfranchised. I don't think this Joker guy though is a good guy. I don't really like. I don't think I would be friends with him for a second. He's a sociopath, whether he can justify his actions or not. However, the reason the riots and everything within the movie are sparked by him is because it was already there. It just needed a little spark to light the volatile tension. It's so much easier to talk shit to another person. I need to just be able to shit talk my mic by myself. I think that's the key to all of this. I don't know. I used to watch so many YouTubers who like could vlog to themselves like for such a long time. I don't know where they get that energy from or who they think they're talking to. But it's pretty cray. It's pretty cray. I actually think it comes from some level of mental illness. Maybe narcissistic personality disorder, aggressive ADHD, maybe. Not making fun of that stuff. It's in fact, if that shit can make you famous and make money, then I'm the sucker for calling it an illness. It's really a gift from God, from your genetics. You know, whatever you believe is the cause of mental illness. Just want to make sure I get these gross teeth right. If any of you guys are smokers out there, I'd recommend quitting. I know it looks cool in movies, but is it really that cool to have terrible mouth hygiene? Increase your risks of cancer. And just generally smell a little bit worse. It works in movies because those frames you're seeing are actually a character who doesn't keep on smoking off camera unless the actor smokes. But I don't know. I don't know how they keep their teeth so white. It's a strange one. Well. It's a long phone call. I hope everything's okay. I hope he's not fired from his job. This is Rye I'm talking about. He's on his phone right now. He would be here, but he's on the phone. Very important call, apparently. You know what? We can add a cigarette to this.
I'm back, baby.
Ah, very, very good.
Sorry to bail on the
No, that's
fucking
cool.
stream.
I just like choked the whole time.
Oh no.
I spoke about I told everyone who's watching that they shouldn't smoke.
I mean that's good.
I tried to switch off and just talk. I talked about how people who can vlog just like for ages by themselves talking to their phone must have some form of like narcissistic personality disorder or or ADHD or whatever.
Mm.
Um, but that those can't really be classed as mental illnesses if you make so much money and whatever. They're like sort of gifts from God, you know?
Ah, yeah. That's a hot take.
Well, that's why today's video is about the Joker.
Mm.
Oh,
So,
I'm loving that eye so far, man. I'm really
thank
loving
you
it.
very much. I drew it myself.
Fuck yeah. You weren't using
A drawbot.
a small drawbot?
Good, good save. Good improv. Um, yes, and does not usually involve just repeating what the other person said. Hey, look, what did you think of the Joker? I've already said that I loved it. I had a great time.
Oh yeah, I talked a little bit about the Joker too.
Cool, that's why we're here.
Yeah. Um
Did
no,
it
if you
feel did it
it ha-
feel like it was directed at you? Or I mean not you in particular, but like lonely white dudes? Or do you think it's more universal?
I think there's a lot of class consciousness in it.
Yeah.
Um in fact that's sort of what I was saying. Like um the fact that it sort of makes it look like they're all vote like for him.
Hmm.
I like the way that the movement that starts around him was
Mm.
actually just because the tension was already there and he was just this like match. This
Yeah.
this like lit match thrown onto the bonfire of like
Hmm.
real like solid tension.
Hmm.
Um but it was like so it was Thomas Wayne's words when he said as long as there's people good people like me um
Hmm.
we can show what these like loser clowns really are or something like that like
Yeah.
he basically he calls the people who the disenfranchised and mentally ill
Mm.
clowns and so that's why they all choose that clown persona
Yeah.
for the riots but like
Hmm.
at the same time he's this yeah you get it you saw the movie
Yeah.
um
Yeah, and that was definitely my favorite takeaway from it was because people were really scared about well no I don't think people were as scared. There was like the I would say the online discussion
oh
around this
yeah
film
yeah
felt so
forced it's just marketing
manufactured
at this
or
point now.
yeah. And I imagine it probably helped in terms of box office numbers. Like people had to go and see. They're like, oh, gotta go see the new Joker film. Like I want to see what all this fuss is about.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
people were talking about the violence that it would encourage before they had even seen the film,
yep.
and that was so absurd to me.
I agree. I
Uh,
think that. Oh, sorry, my door popped open the slight amount, but it was loud enough to freak me the fuck out. Um, yeah. What were you saying? Sorry. Go.
um, I don't want to get too. Maybe I do. I
No,
don't care.
I've already said some pretentious shit, so like we've crossed that barrier.
Honestly, I don't want to be too political about it, but like I saw a couple of really good points about this. Actually, it might have been what's that guy? Something more. Um, Michael Moore? Is that the
Oh
documentary
yeah,
dude?
yeah.
Yeah, Michael
Yep.
Moore. He did a great post about it, talking about basically how teetering on the edge society is because of its own discourse at the moment, or the inability to have proper discourse. Um, but the main point he hit on at the start of his little ranty kind of thing was that
Mm.
this isn't a discussion about art inspiring violence. This is only a discussion in the States because this movie isn't going to incite violence in other countries where guns aren't as accessible. It's
Oh yeah.
such a scapegoat
So
to
he
use.
made it all about guns again.
Yeah,
It's
but
always
it
about
isn't.
guns with these liberals, man.
Yeah, It is about guns. Um,
You're right about the umami take. Um,
yeah. Shout out to
however,
Umami though. If
how do we
anyone,
draw clowns like in the style that I've been using for longer than I've known about umami, and not make it
mm.
look like umami now? That's isn't that freaky? Isn't it freaky that like what if someone got popular really quick doing your style of cartoons and
Yeah,
you like literally had to shift because
yeah,
like they were calling you like a copycat, or like you just had to decide to switch because oh it's like it now isn't hitting as hard or something like.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a weird one.
I think that's it's definitely happened. Um, in many times in art in general.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
especially something like music. I think is probably an easier one. Um, like depending on what kind of music it is, I suppose. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yes, it would be heartbreaking. It'd be weird. It'd be a weird situation, but I don't know. Kind of depends on if it's with malice. If somebody actually stole your idea, like actually copied your style and was like, no, this is mine now, then
Mm.
yeah, that would be so
Oh, if they did it deliberately, yeah, that, yeah.
yeah, that'd be so devastating. Um, just heartbreaking in terms of like a wake up call of like
Identity
how
theft or something.
how miserable humanity can be.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But identity theft, like I would even then, it depends on who, how, or why. I'd be like so angry, so lost, but at the same time, I wouldn't think. I would think probably. I would probably think more of those people than someone who directly stole your art, because the art is it's because identity theft is just like, okay, so you're gonna open a bunch of bank accounts, you're gonna fucking steal a bunch of money. I get it. You're just trying to make a buck, and it's not about me. It's not about anything. I just happen to be the one who got fucked over. You
Mm,
didn't you
mm,
didn't single me out of a crowd so much as just that you just grabbed the person who worked for your ploy.
right.
But with art, like they would have to find your stuff and go like, oh yeah, this person's put so much time and effort into this, and I'm just gonna steal it. But also, I'm gonna learn how they do this. Like there's so
Well,
much more effort, involved, and
there's an element, right, that they'll
mm.
never be able to
Oh, we should
to
write
like
"Don't bully" as
re.
as face tattoos.
Yeah. No bullying, please. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see.
And teardrop. Should we do a mixture of Jared Leto's Joker in here? The cigarette should be. um. Oh my goodness, I have to take another call. So this is
Oh, I'm so bad at
such,
this.
such a particular time. Hey, I'll be right back.
All right, all right, all right, everyone. I'm just gonna let this sit here for a moment while I while I reply to someone. By the way, if you're one of the lucky people to discover this early and you do a bit of drawing yourself, I think it'd be fun for you to just reach out to us and you can draw with us even. Like, this can be anything.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay, man. I was just
No, it's
telling
not okay.
I was just telling the audience if any of them are the lucky people to stumble upon this in its early days, that they may even be able to join us in drawing or whatever.
Yeah. Before we're swamped by fans.
Well, yeah, the ImagineRy may just be you and I, but like we've got the Astro Lounge too.
Yep. That's the dream. That's where we want to get to. Is just having people. That just also it just creates the content. You don't have to do anything. You just respond to people. Alrighty, what are we doing? You know, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm replying to a message. Yeah, I just flat out said, yeah. Well, I'm gonna use this time to reply. I'm almost done writing it.
All right.
But yeah,
That's
so
cool.
like let's keep the ideas spitballing. We've got a Joker. He's got a cigarette. We've got a vague idea of some text. I think we should add some laugh lines. Some his smile is like pushing his cheeks upwards. Like,
Oh yeah. I'm gonna grab that. That's such a nice gray for the. Maybe you should do the cheek lines as well, since they're in your style already. See, that's a good demonstration. Like, even the difference between our styles is so, like, it is hard. I can't just casually imitate what you're doing. Like, I'd really have to. I think it also speaks though, because there's no doubt in my mind that you are a far better visual artist than I am.
oh,
Not to put myself down either. Like, it's because you've spent so much more time thinking about it and care about it so much more.
I don't know. Like, but I would never be able to have the kind of like dedication that you have, or the output, or the like. I think you've put more hours into it physically. I think
Yeah,
maybe
okay,
like
that
there's
might be
just
true. But I was doing the same thing. Like, all the those hours weren't.
have you ever heard this one before, Rai?
Yeah.
I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks, but has practiced the one kick 10,000 times.
All right, sure. Yeah, but that doesn't make. Yeah, okay. Fine. You're right. I am better. I'm better at all things. And I wouldn't.
Hey, at what you
wouldn't
do, you're better.
wouldn't recommend you stepping to me in this dojo or any dojo. Is that what you want to hear? How do cheeks work?
Immediately,
Phased out?
I reckon you got to be more. You got to be more like bold.
Yeah, I was gonna thicken these up so like come up here a little bit. You know what I mean? Look, just. Oh, I see.
you, yeah, over the top of the smoke.
Yeah, that's good.
Um,
But where's the smoke at? Yeah. Ah, yeah.
I think
See,
you
like,
enjoy minimalism a lot, right?
Yeah, I do. Both of our styles are very minimalist in their own ways, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I found that interesting that like one thing that you and why can I not think of Art of Lucidity? I was trying to think of her official um, artist name. So Lucidity. Is Lucidity her artist name or Art of Lucidity as a whole?
I imagine she probably doesn't have like a necessarily identify with any particular artist name, But
Okay.
her page on Facebook is Art of Lucidity. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
because she sometimes goes by like Lucid Dreams, Lucid.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, when we've worked together on some of the other Astro Lounge uh, images,
Yeah.
and you guys have both been like, "Oh, well, right, you do the details because that's your thing. You like doing little details." And at first, I was like, "What are you talking?" No, I draw lots of tiny little lines as like a faux detail. It's not actual.
You can also make like awesome 3D models of trains.
Yeah, that's a weird talent of mine. it's a, it's very specifically just trains I can do. I love that. I love that model that I made so much. It's so good. Um, I wish I could take those. I don't know 3D modeling outside of Google SketchUp, and that really frustrates me because I could have poured all the hours I've poured into Google SketchUp into another program, and I could actually maybe use that uh, professionally because I put so many hours into SketchUp, so I can do certain awesome stuff in SketchUp. And now I look at it like, oh man, not a waste, but definitely could have been used better. But oh well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it is what
No,
it is.
uh, yeah, the time spent doing art or practicing a skill or whatever, it's not wasted time in my mind.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't. You're always learning, you know. You never know what you're gonna. You never know when those skills are gonna come in handy. Uh, have we got more to say about Joker?
Say
This
again,
is even
sorry?
this is even messier than our podcast, which I guess it should be. It's a stream.
It's
That
like
it is kind of the point.
you can't slow down life, you know?
What?
I said you can't slow down life.
No, I heard. I heard. What is it? What do you mean?
You know,
What is?
well, just like life stuff happens, like phone calls.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yeah,
just say, hey, life, I'm streaming for a couple hours. Can you just,
yeah, yeah. Yes, you're not wrong.
I'm honestly, like, I'm still in this message just a little bit. But when I
Okay.
get out, it'll be
uh,
the
it's gonna be
return, the
amazing.
full
Yes.
return.
Okay, cool. Well, until then, I'm gonna draw. I guess just some more. I don't know. I like the simplicity of the image a
I think
lot.
that's our problem. We're like too easily,
Happy. We're just like, yeah, that
too
looks
easily
good.
entertained. It
Fucking
just
stick,
like
stick it on a shirt. Know what I'm saying? Just get it out there.
there's no text on it yet. We should do a fake impact font. Like we should make it look like it's impact.
Impact font. Let me have a look at.
What about society text down the bottom?
Is it a bit too obvious? Maybe.
I think some memes don't care about subtlety in the slightest, but
Okay.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Hmm. Um. Here's no, no. I've decided against it. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go back over our old posts and have a look at them because they're so good. But also now that you mentioned it, I want to see like what more could we have done instead of just being like, "Yep, it's good. Get her out of here."
No,
That last one,
there's definitely more. I'm feeling it.
to be honest, the last one we with the Banana Man,
Mm-hmm.
one of the best ones, I think. I think that is a solid image. I
Excellent.
think the the way we did the background in
Yeah,
one
you
style,
nailed the gradient. You nailed it.
yeah, yeah, and the hills or whatever the little islands look 3D and everything. This like 3D effect to it, which is great against the 2D-ness of the other one. It's just great. In fact, actually, that's interesting. We did that twice because that's kind of what we did for the Puppet Master one as well a little bit. Like he's really flat on the jumping out of the image, but the image itself has so much depth to it.
Mm.
behind him. I like that. I think that's cool. Oh man, I got to go back over our stuff more often because every time I do, I'm like, oh wow, we're doing some stuff, and I like it. Like the Gnome War is out of this world. The Gnome War is so good. All right, is that really the last one we did? Interesting. The image of us three, of Lucid, Irreverend, and Wrath, all yawning at
Yeah.
the same time. That was ages ago
Weird.
we did that. And then there's a huge, that was in December of 2018. And then it jumped to June of
Wow.
2019. That's how big of a break we had.
Yeah,
That's
I had to
crazy to
like
me.
I was moving place. I was like,
You went to Malaysia, I guess.
oh, yeah, that's true. I went to Malaysia.
Yeah. I knew there was a big gap, but I didn't realize how big of a gap it was. And then we kicked off things with the alley cat image.
That was bowler.
Yeah, I think there's been a big step up in terms of the content. Oh, because we stopped doing them in one session. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that's the
Even though
difference.
Manana um
Yeah, that
was
was
one
one session.
sesh.
Yeah,
And
but it was
also
just a really it
the
was a,
little cartoon one we did with
the son and
yeah,
dad.
but that's good too. So like, I don't know.
I think both of those are just really clear concepts, and I think that's why they work. And the other ones, we had more time to add little details and stuff, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, enough jerking each other off. Let's get back to this image that you're doing. This is great. It's great.
I'm gonna do
What is,
something real weird for a
all
moment.
right. This is
Um,
very nostalgic and very soppy, but I did have the thought it was a couple of weeks ago. I just had the thought of can't remember what reminded me, but I just got me thinking about when we first met in a high school
ooh,
and we started hanging out, and then you just ended up coming to my place like 3 or 4 times a week, and we would set up guitars in my dad's like band room and just start recording shit. And every time we listened back, we were like, "Oh, that was great." We did lots of really weird, trippy, psychedelic kind of stuff, and I thought that's just great. That's so much fun. That like that was we started doing we did that creative endeavor so long ago,
yeah.
and we've just made so many different projects since then, which is just really exciting.
I
I
was
like that.
definitely a lonely kid, so yeah, I used to like force my presence on my friends.
Yeah, I was also a very kid
Oh.
and blossomed into a quite a lonely adult. Um, I've there's been a big shift for me as of late within like the last couple of months. I realized I'm not sure if I've spoken to you about this already, but I realized that I had for a long time just believed wholeheartedly that I was extremely introverted, extremely antisocial, didn't wasn't very good at talking to people, did not like talking to people.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I just told myself this idea because yeah, I guess like as a child, I definitely was really I was really shy, and I still am shy to a degree now. But um, yeah, the fact that I told myself though that told myself that though just kind of solidified that I didn't have to try so much. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, I that's just who I am. So I'll just chill the fuck out, which sounds good. But then at the same time, now I'm trying to push myself to get
So
out
like,
there
yeah, yeah, yeah.
more, and I'm realizing that I love this. I love being out with people that I don't know. I love talking to them, getting to know them, and just running my mouth, just saying shit is just so much fun. And once I stopped telling myself that, um, I realized that
That
like,
you
oh,
didn't like it. Yeah, yeah.
I'm fine. I'm good. I can talk to people, and I like talking to people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's crazy that you can get yourself into that headspace for such a long time as well. And it's slow. It's still
I've
slow progress, but
I've been there. I've
it's
thought
changing.
I've like I at one point I literally thought that you had to consciously like create who you are, that it's not something
Mm,
that you're like born with, and and it made me think that all the people around me were just like way better at creating themselves. Um,
interesting.
yeah, and like that all their sense of humor and everything was like they consciously thought to themselves like I'm gonna be a funny guy. These are the kind of jokes I'm gonna make. Like I just thought everyone was way more on the ball and like
Yeah,
um
right.
so like yeah, same as you say thinking to yourself, oh, I'm gonna be the introverted guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was like, well, I'm gonna be the guy in all the movies that everyone thinks is really funny, or like um, or whatever it was. It was just like whenever I saw movies, I always liked the funny guy. The
Yeah.
comic relief guy was always my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same
Oh,
time, like, was a total that character is a total betrayal to like the level of depth in like the way I think about things,
mm-hmm.
uh, the like the intensity of the emotions I was experiencing,
Mm,
and like the intense sensitivity to like just everything.
mm,
So like it I think I've learned shit from just being a betrayal of myself for such a long time, but like
mm-hmm.
it was also nice to just like to realize, wait, I never had to actually create this character. I just had to be like I just had to allow the stream of whatever I am to just like flow out
Mm.
without stopping it in like arbitrary ways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe this is a good
Good time to kill myself. Maybe this is a good time to finally end it all.
What I was gonna say is it's a good time. That's a good discussion for the Joker film.
Oh
Like
yeah.
talking about like
Well, okay, yeah, yeah. Let's tie it in. Let's tie it in. So when the Joker starts seeing those like these synchronicities,
mm,
um, and by that I mean just like he says at one point, like I felt like I was invisible, but I started seeing more of myself in the world around me.
mm-hmm,
He started seeing people wearing the clown masks. He started.
mm,
He said he heard a song on the radio, and this is a song I've listened to for a long time now, and like learned how to play so that I could perform it.
mm-hmm,
My Name is Carnival by um, Jackson C. Frank.
mm-hmm,
That song starts playing, and he mentions that his clown persona is called Carnival, so that
mm,
he heard the song on the radio, and My Name is Carnival. It was a trigger for him thinking like, I am a part of this world, and I am seen by this world.
mm-hmm.
Um, and that's why he stops taking his meds. And I feel like the overall message of the film is that when he started leaning into this distorted reality he was avoiding, he like
Mm.
became a god, which is
Okay.
weird. It's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like he like at one point he he addresses the fact that he laughs at inappropriate times because of the mental
Mm-hmm.
disorder, but he
Mm.
said to his mum like, I think that's the actual me coming out. I used to think that like my sense of humor was just
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah, yeah.
but I think that's actually just me.
Mm.
um and yeah, and then he like fucking kills his mum.
So, I don't know, confusing messages. Fuck.
This is looking
Um,
Warhol-esque. I really like those stripes you did actually. I don't know why, but I think they're fucking good.
well, I was gonna copy the dots that you were doing, and then yeah, I like this idea of just of just yeah, well, some I
Yeah,
guess
just
like yeah,
patterns to fill it
yeah.
in.
He's a chaotic character. It's kind of interesting to give him like such a designed look. Um, yeah. The a big one point I really liked that was kind of made by Red Letter Media guys was talking about the main theme from their perspective was to be seen in society, to have your presence acknowledged,
Well,
essentially.
yeah.
And I think that's um,
To have a place within society.
mm, it's interesting. We live in a very strange time for that because we have now the ability for literally anyone to get out there into the world, show off who they are, and even potentially become famous from it in such a weird, unprecedented way.
Well,
But then at the same time, because of that, everybody is doing it. And
yeah,
so
like
to
fame doesn't
your
really mean
point,
anything anymore.
yeah,
In some ways, like
you're not a god. You're not larger than life anymore.
you're like a
Like
dime a dozen, really, when it comes to
yeah.
say like back in the day, if you were like a platinum seller, um,
Mm-hmm.
of an album, it meant like the whole world knew who you were, but like in
Mm.
a sort of intimate way too. Like they were a devoted follower because like there weren't that many people who just like struck out that huge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now I reckon you know, I reckon 3/4 of the people who are selling platinum albums at the moment, I could not care less about.
Mm. And you
Um,
couldn't name them.
yeah,
You couldn't,
yeah,
couldn't name half of them. Yeah. Like when people say like why yeah, we haven't had another Beatles or something like that, right?
yeah,
I don't think that's because we haven't had anyone who create music on the level of the Beatles, because that's not true. I think that has happened in some regards.
yeah. But
But
maybe not as like hit to miss ratio as the Beatles, which is like they've got
yeah,
an
pretty
astonishing
famous song.
hit rate.
Yeah, yeah.
Their KD
But
ratio is fucking above.
but their 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 status can't be replicated. I think that can't exist in this time
Nah, yeah,
because
you can't bridge the gap between uh, England and America like ever again. Like um,
mm,
you can't like maybe you could stay number one for more weeks or something. I don't. I,
no, that's actually just happened recently.
oh yeah,
Old Town Road was the longest running number one single of all time.
weird. And
But
see,
I
like
think
I've
that
never heard that before. I know Little
uh,
Nas, and I know it's like it's a big funny joke that he's done a
mm,
country record or whatever.
yeah.
Um,
So that's the thing now as well. Like a song isn't just a song. How memeable it is as well. Like if it can
yeah,
be
that's
meme,
all marketing. Yeah,
so it's a very different time period, which is an obvious thing to say. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna repeat myself, saying that you can't be larger than life anymore. Because even our larger than life figures have an Instagram, have a Twitter. So we know who they are. We see who they are. I mean, obviously everyone's putting it on Instagram and shit like that, but like no one is untouchable anymore. You can't and the people who are, like the people who you don't see on Twitter, or the people who don't interact like that, are generally older and usually go forgotten by the younger generations, or
mm,
almost ridiculed for their lack of
for their
engagement.
boomerism.
Yeah, I'm also just entirely spitballing here. I've
Yeah,
not really
yeah,
thought
yeah, yeah.
till now. So, but this I think this is a good thing to me, because this is an argument I've kind of held for a little while, is that people who say, like, I think people kind of freak out that they're. I mean, maybe so. I guess there is the level of celebrity that there is, like a larger level of celebrity than there ever has been in a way. But at the same time, it's really hard to be the best at a thing. Like,
Yeah, I believe that.
who can say? I don't know if it was the case of when Jimi Hendrix was still around, but Jimi Hendrix was at a point the greatest guitarist that had ever existed. Um,
Or he definitely at least earned that moniker for a while. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that might be a dying kind of thing. Like, everyone, hip hop's a good example because everybody's the goat. Everybody's the greatest of all time. Like, everyone's fandom is large enough that anyone can be kind of considered the best by enough people.
Yeah.
That it almost has some merits. But this, to me, is actually a great thing because maybe after a while of this, because I guess it's still a pretty new phenomenon, um, you'll have to just be smaller in a way that, like, you'll actually have more fans than Led Zeppelin ever did by sheer numbers alone because there's more people on the planet than ever before. But you won't be the only one, and so you'll have to settle for being the best of your city or the best of your country, perhaps.
Yeah. Right.
I want to see art and music localized in a way by the globalization, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Even if the community still exists on an online space, and if they have a universal global appeal, we're not all competing for the same titles. I think that's the main thing. We're not trying to be like, it doesn't matter if you're not on the Billboard's hottest 200 or hottest you're not on Billboard's top 20 for that week. Doesn't fucking matter. You are
Yeah.
still just as big because there's a different fan base that doesn't even give a shit about Billboard, or doesn't
Yeah.
give
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
about Triple
Well,
J.
like so I don't know. I don't know if if this is actually true, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like Leonard Cohen ever had a number one album.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's like they talk often about cult status in
Mm.
in filmmaking and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, it's absolutely like this undying thing in music too.
Mm.
Some songs are just classic,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not because of any sort of accolade. There's there are other aspects to it,
Yeah.
um, which would be good for me to just actually state right now.
that would be if you were to formulate an argument.
They're meaningful to the human spirit in a way that, like, a packet of Doritos is food but not really filling.
Yeah, okay. That's an interesting
So like
metaphor.
there are
I like that.
songwriters who, like, I'm sure like there's more packets of Doritos eaten in a day than there are, like, say, um I don't know, what's a really really good hard to cook meal.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It
Like in
doesn't
like a,
nourish the soul. Doritos may taste good and may sell well, but they don't
mm,
fucking. They're not the right nutrition for the body.
yeah, it's no
You're not full, and when you shit, it hurts.
what's that? Oh, I can't risotto. It's no pumpkin.
It is no pumpkin risotto.
No pumpkin risotto. Pumpkin risotto feels like a nice healthy but it's just frustrating. Like risotto is something that you have to be involved. You're involved with the entire time. You can't walk away from risotto. I'm pretty sure that was their
You can't walk
tagline.
away from a risotto for
Yeah.
sure.
um.
Takes care. I think it's a more impressive achievement.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I've eaten a lot more packets of Doritos than I've cooked risottos. I've cooked no risottos. Risottos? Risottos. I'm not sure.
Risotto, yeah.
Can't even say it, but I can say Doritos all day. Yeah. What was the point you were saying?
Oh, just that, like, yeah, some, like, there's a much greater lasting ability to, like, good art.
Yeah.
There's also a greater respect from the fans for better
Mm-hmm.
art.
Mm.
I think everyone, I think that's important. I think there should be more dedication from fans. No, I don't know. I don't know. Actually, just my brain
Mm.
got distracted.
Well, I just think, yeah, and I think in this day and age that is happening. I think let's instead of using music as an example, because music's so tightly, the money of music is still so tightly controlled, I think. And that's going to change, I believe. Um, but it's funny that like people still are like, man, record companies are freaking out about streaming. The record sales and just so down. Like music publishers are making more money than they've ever made before. Um, so the money is still very much flowing upwards
Yeah.
for the music industry.
Well,
Um,
what about this?
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt your point.
sorry.
Um, if your fans are just are just looking for their Doritos fix or whatever, they're not going to actually buy
Mm-hmm.
the album when it comes out.
Yeah,
Whereas,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
say, like a Radiohead record comes out, suddenly the fans are like, "I'm gonna buy the vinyl because I care about music.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna stream it online."
yeah.
Whereas you got Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande fans, and like they're not buying CDs; they're actually just streaming. And I'm sure that like in some way, Radiohead gets to make a little bit, maybe more money goes straight to them rather than I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I would say, because there's no way in hell they make more money
No,
than,
no, 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 no,
so,
no.
but potentially more direct money. That's possible.
That's the new thing
Um,
in music: direct money.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that like we're still figuring out now as musicians that like, oh, we don't need the record labels anymore. We really don't in any real capacity. Um, Chance the Rapper is still independent. Like he's got distributors. That's about it. He doesn't have a label, which is fucking phenomenal. Um,
You're right.
but yeah, my point was going to be, I think a good example is YouTube because that's a space where, like, if you go to a YouTube convention or something like that, and you'll see celebrities that you have never ever heard of, right? These
Mm, mm.
massive that have millions and millions of fans all around the world, and when they put on a show, when they do a tour, they pack it the fuck out, and and people spend literally hundreds of dollars on tickets for a YouTuber that like so many people have never fucking heard of.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
everyone in traditional media is like, "What? Who the fuck are these people? Who are these people that are gods
Mm.
to such an enormous part of the population that we have somehow never heard of?"
Yeah.
And that I think is actually beautiful. That speaks to like that's so much more natural. That's so much more organic, you know? Like the companies themselves are like, who? I don't know who this person is. And that's great because it's just people decided that we like this person and we're going to give them our money.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah.
such a
I'm
cool
sure a lot of marketers
evolution.
like to think that like, hey, we're the people who make or break celebrity. Like,
Mm.
you don't you don't become anything unless you go through our trials, and then people are just like,
Yeah.
whoops, it looks like people like me, and I didn't need to
Yeah.
make all the compromises that marketing people want you to do.
Yeah. I mean, thinking about this with cancel culture as well, like cancel culture, I think still has this tie in their mind to how traditional media works. And so like cancel this, boycott this. And it's like there's too many people. There's too many people out there. I mean, like someone like R. Kelly can be cancelled. They're just almost universally panned. But then R. Kelly still has dedicated fans. That's scary in the case of R. Kelly, but kind of amazing in the case of other people who don't deserve to get cancelled.
I don't think
If
anyone really does get cancelled though.
No, and that's my point. Is everyone talks about like we're gonna try and boycott this, we're gonna try and cancel this,
Mm,
and I'm like I don't think that's even really possible.
no.
Imagine because imagine how many headlines said cancel Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
Like
and I'm
it doesn't
sure. I'm
does not
sure.
matter how many headlines written. There's enough people out there. There's enough fans that he's always gonna have it.
Until R. Kelly's like actually in prison, he can probably just like book shows and people will show.
Yeah, totally.
It's freaky.
Which is really scary. And I'm not saying that I even like the state of affairs, but I think I prefer it than
Is the stream still going?
yeah.
Cool.
Just check. Yeah.
Cool.
Um.
I saw some loading, some like buffering,
mm,
like background loading thing on my mouse, and I thought, some bugging out.
yeah. Um.
Do you like the little dots? Like,
For the smoke.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I love it.
fuck yeah.
Great. I think.
It looks like the back of a one of those L plate things you like stick to the window.
Yeah. Um. I know what you're saying in terms of like it's too easy to settle, but I'm so happy. Like looking, man, it's good. It's done. I feel like
Um,
I've
there's
contributed.
a there's a little line on right on his left nostril.
Yeah. What is
I
that?
don't know.
That's
Oh,
yeah, weird.
beautiful, beautiful. Oh, now I can see it. Yeah, it's a good image. I was like stuck, stuck on that one little line.
Yeah. It's just some text.
Yeah. Okay, well, I feel like let's see. Um what I came up with the no bullying. I came up with the no bullying please thing
Mhm.
because even though the riots and everything have this big class revolution vibe to it,
Mm.
the Joker really was just shooting those people in the subway because they were like bullying him.
Yeah.
Like, so he's just like the overall message of the film is like, if you bully people, they're gonna kill you. I wanted to
Yeah,
straw
sure.
man the movie that way by just belittling the message.
Yeah. I like that. Where do you want this? Where do you want the text?
Probably
Could
just like just on his chest.
hey, I was gonna say we could try and jam it in Mo. Mo bullying, please. Um,
Like across here, but if we like
yeah. Oh wait, do you want to do that? I'm gonna do like bubble letters, jamming laughter into this section up here.
Yeah, no,
Yep,
okay, cool.
that would be good. Where's your smoke layer? Because I want oh, that's at the top anyway. All right, cool, easy.
This is gonna be difficult.
What color? Because we've only got the blue and the red at the moment. I think I want to keep it that way. Or do
Oh,
we need
totally.
to
Yeah. Do it in
do
blue and
it?
red. I'm gonna use black and white because I'm trying to imitate impact font.
Yeah, so okay, I've got an idea. I do learn a lot more about visuals, I think, from doing Astroland and stuff like that,
Cool.
because it's such a experimentative environment, which I like a lot. Oops, dead air. um, is that something people are concerned about with streaming? Like lots of dead air. Sometimes it doesn't seem like it's a
I
huge
think that's
deal.
just left over from the days of radio.
Mm.
Sorry, boomers out there. Sometimes technology just moves on. I'm sure there's someone out there going like, well, this is a shit stream. Look at all the dead air.
Yeah.
But I do not care.
It just sounds like you're trying to say dead ass, but you can't pronounce your S's.
Dead air.
That's a stupid fucking joke. Wait, where's that? Wait, can I do that? Yeah. So, oh no, I cannot. That's not. Okay. Okay. That's cool. That's fine. Yeah, I think the thing I liked most, I think about, well, like the message that I took away the most from Joker was that like the Joker didn't actually do anything in terms of like he didn't try and start a revolution, you know?
No.
And everyone was like, "Oh, fucking look at this guy! This guy's fucking crazy! This guy's destroying the world." Um, but the city was on the edge. The
Yeah.
city was crumbling. If all it took is one guy showed some other guys on the subway, like
Yeah, it was already
then
tense. Yeah.
there's something else far more insidious behind that. You know, there's something clearly broken in society. And I think that's the thing. Like that's the main argument. But actually, I guess that could be a direct commentary as well about the people freaking out about like, oh no, all the fucking video games are creating these mass murderers. It's like if all it took was some video games to create mass murderers, then clearly there's something else wrong in society. If it's that
Yeah.
fucking volatile.
The more
Like,
we mention society, I think like the more profound our thoughts are getting. Yeah, okay, there is that one point in the movie where he says, you know, this is what happens to a guy when he's kicked aside, like like when he's on the talk show, he says, when you're like thrown into a society who doesn't care about you, that doesn't care about you.
Yeah.
So like he's reacting directly to the fact that the mental health funding was cut. And he had no way to get like his meds anymore, or I think that was the case.
Yeah. Which Jay from Red Letter Media completely missed
Yep.
when he was like, why did he start taking his meds? It's like, because he couldn't get his meds. They made that very clear.
Yeah. In fact, I feel like Jay was just like, man, this has got some similarities to some other really good movies. I'm just gonna like write it off as a cheap imitation.
Was he just annoyed that the guy who did Hangover to direct this movie?
I don't know. It seems like that.
Right?
And even though at the end he was just like, yeah, you did well, Todd Phillips. Like, you did well. It's like, why didn't you open with that? Why'd you open with, It's just another movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it annoyed me. I think
Mm.
Jay just likes showing off how much he knows. I literally like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know those kind of people.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not me. It's funny when you like learn because I definitely have done this, but when you learn fact about something and you just
You
keep
tell
bringing
it,
it, keep
yeah.
keep bringing it up, and then eventually you tell to someone who you've already told, and that's the moment of realization, like, oh, I, no, you're right. Didn't
That's
say that.
funny, isn't it? Yeah, this like immediate moment, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, like I was telling this fact every time on the highway between Melbourne, which is basically the capital city of the state that Ryan and I live in, and where Ryan lives.
Mm.
Between Melbourne and Castlemaine, the other town where
Mm.
I live, duh, we both lived. Anyway, on
Good.
the freeway between these two places, there's like a fake tree that the phone company in our country hid a one of their towers. They're like they put a
Wait,
communication tower next to the freeway, but they dressed it up with a whole lot of fake leaves and fake
really?
branches. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just so it didn't disturb the aesthetic of the hill. And like
Huh.
you only had to look at it for one more second and you realize, oh,
Mm.
that's like it's perfectly symmetrical. Um
Mm.
yeah, perfectly symmetrical, and the leaf pattern was just like off. You looked at it and you realize
Mm-hmm.
it's fake. And like I would tell people that every time we drove past it, to
Mm.
the point where like one time we were driving past it and they all just said like they were like making fun of me essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, "Hey, look, did you know that this blah blah blah?" And I'm like, "Oh, now I'm embarrassed." I thought it was so interesting that when I
I
found it
do.
out.
I think that's a fascinating fact. Um, yeah, but I get that. So I noticed this about myself with there was a particular song that I used to DJ with. Like I love it. It was like one of my favorite songs to play in my DJ sets.
Yeah.
And it's a house version of I think Papa was a Rolling Stone or something like that. And anytime I would hear that song, I'd be like, oh man, yeah, I've got this great version of this song that I fucking love to play.
Mm.
And Nikki one day was like, "Yeah, huh? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard it a million times." No, she hasn't heard the song though. That was the thing. She's like, "I know you've got that song. You've told me about this song so many times. I've never heard the song, and I don't care about the song." I'm like, ah. She didn't say anything like that, but that's what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
yeah,
as soon
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah.
she was like, "Uh-huh." I was like, "Oh shit, yeah." I bring that up every time. That's so stupid. But anyway,
It
we
reminds
all
me
do.
of
We all
it reminds me of I was listening to a Duncan Trussell podcast
do.
and he was talking about how he went to a party the night before
Mm.
recording this episode.
Mm.
Um and he said he was like on MDMA,
Mm-hmm.
and just really chatty. He felt really confident, really chatty, and he said he
Mm.
committed this like psychic crime. He This guy who was too shy to like tell him to shut up, he like talked his ear off about analog synthesizers
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
hours. He said it
Yeah,
was like literally hours. This guy was just putting up with him yakking on about how the way synthesizers works. And
that's
he's like the
so
fact that
good.
his embarrassment about just doing that non-stop for several hours carried into the next day. He was just thinking about it like, oh man, that guy really didn't fucking care at all. I didn't I didn't know him. Like I was just
Yeah,
ignoring all the signs that he was uncomfortable and I just would not stop talking about it.
yeah.
I thought
Which
that was
is
quite funny. I like
fucking
immediately
hilarious.
related. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I've been that guy at
Mm.
parties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. uh, it's it's important to remember those moments with humility. Think back to like that we all do that shit. We all get to that place. And
That like obsessive place or like
we just all our ego slips through in weird ways, you
Yeah,
know.
for sure, for sure.
Um, I wish, yeah, I want. I've been listening to a lot more books about letting go of the ego and spirituality and shit like that. And it's made me so much more aware of my own ego in
Yeah,
ways that like I didn't expect it to show up. Like I always thought that my ego would be me being braggadocious about certain shit, and then listening
and
to
then
all
you
this.
realize it's actually just when you use the word braggadocious. That's the ego coming through.
um, it's when I'm pitying myself.
Oh
That's
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
strongest. Is when I'm like, man, I've had a really rough day, or I'm real, yeah, having a real rough week, which is it is fine to admit, but if you watch what you do with that information, that's when you see like, oh shit,
I find.
I really lean in, really
Oh
being
yeah,
miserable.
you
Yeah,
like you enjoy the pity party.
yeah, but not from other people, just from myself. I don't really give in to it too much from other people. I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird
I
one.
just can't like. Um, it got to the point, right?
Hmm.
Because I deal with like I've just always had mental health issues, and I've
Hmm.
now been dealing with migraines and whatever. I really could be that guy who's just like, nah, life's too hard. I have this
Mm.
like perfect excuse to just give up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Be like a drain on the people around me. Just nonstop
Hmm.
talk about how hard life is, and
Hmm.
I just like it's just so not an option for me anymore. Like I just don't think
Yeah.
it. I'm not gonna do that anymore. Um,
Mm. But that's so common, and
and
it
it's
is.
usually by people who don't have that much to fucking complain about too. Like,
Yeah. Well,
oh
actually,
my
that was an
gosh.
interesting one I found when this guy I was talking about. Eckhart Tolle was the main guy that
Yeah,
I discovered. Do you
yeah.
think that do you think the red of that text is way too bright up the top?
Um, so I actually usually choose colors that like hurt the eyes like that, that just like clash.
Okay.
I actually
It's
don't think it's too much personally.
right, as long as you're happy with it. It's the same red from the lips, so I thought that's what makes most sense. Anyway, yeah, Eckhart Tolle was talking about how that's actually some people when they get themselves into an actual situation where they could do that, where they have a not a right, but when they actually have a good enough reason to just tap out, those are the people who often find themselves enlightened to a degree because they're like,
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
this is real. I have to be stronger. I have to put up with this.
Yeah.
I have to find that strength within myself. And but for some people, like yeah, just the everyday shit that seems way more easy to deal with. But one way of dealing with it is just by giving into it and being like, oh man, fucking, if I stress about bills, then I don't have to stress about what I'm doing with my life. You know,
Yeah.
that's a big one for me. I think, like, because I've been there, because I've let jobs consume me far more than I want them to, and I realize that I think the reason I have done that in the past is because it allows me to forget for a short while that I have this passion and drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also have a fear of failure. So
Yeah.
if I'm busy working, then I can't be thinking about failing.
Well, you also succeed at your job, like you do. I like, and
Mm.
you probably know that too. And it probably feels humans get a dopamine hit from just doing something well and good and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
succeeding at it. Um, and so art actually rewards you way less in that regard because some people who are actually really good at what they do don't feel good or like they're succeeding almost ever.
Yeah.
Like some people just like never give themselves that pat on the back.
Hmm.
Yet I think that's one thing we like figured out through the Astro Lounge too. Just being able to like zoom out, and it's because probably like we can look at what other people have done, like what each other has done, and then like complement it because it's not ourselves that we're just complimenting. Like
Mm.
we're looking at the image and going like, yeah, no, we did really well. This is really good.
Hmm.
But I don't do that with my stuff necessarily. Do you do that with yours?
No, not at all. This is actually, that's the main reason why I want to work with other musicians. Because I had
So like,
someone
yeah, 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 yeah. Like
I had someone.
yeah,
Yeah, you go.
like if the beat's really good or like the lyrics are really good, but they
Hmm.
were done by someone else, you can be like, no, this song really is good, even though you contributed quite a lot to it.
Yeah, yeah. So you can hear the parts where you fucked up maybe a little bit, because you're never gonna be 100, like, oh, unless you're fucking, I don't know, Kanye or something like that, and you've got, but no, Kanye's super hard on himself.
I
Like
think he identifies with his fuck ups really well. I think it's part of
maybe
his image.
a very good example is DJ Khaled, who seems to be fucking happy with what he's made.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um, for the average, not the average, for almost all artists, you're never gonna be 100% happy with what you've done. But
Yeah.
if there's some other shit in there that somebody else did that your ego wasn't attached to, you're like, oh yeah, this is like it's so much easier to ignore what you did, um, or ignore the elements that you didn't like as much. But yeah, so the thing was that like somebody recently was like, oh man, you should produce some more electronic stuff, or like you should like I like your production rather than it wasn't like in comparison to my rap or my cartoons or whatever. But it was
Mm.
like, yeah, I like the production. I want to hear more of that, which sounds like a really nice thing, and it certainly is a really nice thing. Oh, I just realized that I've been drawing the red on top of the other color. Fuck it. Is what it is. It's done now. It's hard baked in.
That's
Um.
life. That's what all the people say.
Uh. But yeah, so I think the thing for me though, when listening back to my own production, because when I produce, it's I have very rarely rapped over my own stuff, and I've also very rarely added any vocals or anything else. There's a couple of tracks where I've got my brother to play sax or clarinet or something like that over top, and
Yeah.
those ones are always the ones that I'm like, yeah, this is a good one. I like this one.
Oh yeah, collaboration is so just yeah. It's always greater
Yeah,
than the sum of its part. Wait, it's always greater.
yeah, then some of it's parts.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I want to work with people again, because I would like to produce all my own beats for my rap project. But as soon as I listen to my own beat and I try and rap over top of it, it's so hard to not hear the imperfections or not hear the things that you would like to change. And so it's hard to focus on the next step. But if you've got someone else involved, you can, I don't know, maybe you can let your ego go a little bit, because it's not just you. It's not just
Yeah.
about you.
Like you can let dogs off the leash in the dog park. You know,
Yeah,
find
yeah,
that
yeah.
environment for your ego to just like be free without swinging its arms
Hmm.
and breaking the fine china.
Yeah. Mm. So yeah, I can't remember what the original point was. I can't remember what this conversation was.
We're basically trying to enlighten the entire audience right now.
Mm.
It's ambitious of us in the first episode.
Yeah.
I even feel like we should just keep going with this, with the bottom of it, and I should just put like his hand with a gun.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, people will have to like actually tap on it to be able to see the full image.
Yeah. Well, as long as there's enough in this image for them to feel like it's finished, feel like they're happy with it, then
Mm.
there can be extra content at the bottom. But yeah, I don't know. I don't
Do you
mind it.
mind if I take layer 4 from you? It's down the one above the bottom.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Cool.
Um.
Excuse
This
me.
is great. This is actually such a good idea. Because obviously right now no one's listening, no one's watching, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the fact that we can show this, the fact that it's not like if we were streaming video game content or something like that, we have
Mm.
to somehow get people to watch some of that to get them hooked.
Yeah.
But for this, we just show them this image, which is a still image, so much easier to share around, and people will instantly be like, "Oh, that's what? Hang on, oh, you do that in the stream? Fuck
Yeah,
yeah!
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
I do kind of want to see that made in front of me."
Yeah.
So much fucking circle jerking in this episode. I'm just like, fuck, this is a good idea. Holy shit. Man, we've made so much stuff over the years. It's amazing. What a friendship. What a fucking, how good are we?
Yeah, yeah, for
Also, did I
sure.
mention that we're entirely enlightened and we're sharing this with our audience? It's
So I
pretty
discovered,
amazing.
yeah, I discovered
Pretty
enlightenment the other
astounding.
day. Um,
Just stumbled over it. Pretty astounding that at the age of, what are you, 20, you're 26? When's your birthday?
yes, yeah,
Yeah. At the
spot
age of
on, bro.
26 and 25, we've already fucking conquered our egos. That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Wrangled them in. Uh, I really like having two screens in my bedroom now. Like I'm having a monitor for my laptop. It's fucking awesome. However,
Cool.
it's cheap as balls, and which means the colors are really not very accurate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
Been
need
there
to
before.
watch. I need to go over
Ooh.
everything on my laptop screen. It does make you appreciate a good screen though, when you realize like, oh, this is a cheap monitor.
How
This is
bad
probably
they
what
can be. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is what most people use, and not like I Apple pisses me the fuck off nowadays. Their hardware is great, but its price tag is fucking ridiculous. But nonetheless, having this screen made me realize like, oh shit, the Macintosh screen is fucking phenomenal. Holy shit. Them blacks so deep.
Tell me about them blacks.
Nah, I don't wanna create too many sound bites. That alone, just shouting them blacks is too easily too easily corrupt out of context. Maybe we should make that a thing. That in each episode,
No,
maybe
no.
at the
Even
end,
conspiring about it right now is making me feel like we've gone too far.
at the
Because have
start.
you? Do you know what dog whistling is?
No, I mean,
Dog whistling is when you use like real sneak. Tap to set up your Galaxy S8. Never mind.
yeah, just like what?
Like a pop up came up. Anyway, um, yeah, dog whistling is when you try and sneak in certain kinds of like ideology or
Hmm.
racism, sexism, and stuff by like disguising it. So if I was particularly anti-Semitic and I wanted to avoid being obviously anti-Semitic, but the people in my community could tell I was still doing it, is I would refer to like Jews or Nazis by a different name and just like make jokes like, how many cookies really went in the ovens kind of thing.
Oh shit! Right.
So like if we if we talk about say let's try and sneak in some racism as a joke, or like it just creates
Yeah.
suspicion that
What I
we're
was gonna
trying to
say,
do that. You probably weren't
yeah.
even saying that, maybe.
Well, I was just gonna say that at the start or the end of every episode, we give them a sound bite that's so they don't even need to take it out. They don't
That's
need to
pretty
chop it
funny
up.
though. I'll give you
But
that.
like,
That's pretty funny.
yeah. But I don't want to even toe the line with that shit. Because I do get worried about that with certain people I've seen who
There's
will
people
share.
going down way before we will, though, when it comes to like incriminating sound bites.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I also
like, that's.
think just like if people keep on defending the nuance of their humor, especially if it's dark or like
Hmm.
risky, then like people will just understand it's not as simple as just um miss like you know how if you write out someone's joke in
Mm.
text form it doesn't work. There's no
Hmm.
rhetoric and there's no like speech or whatever.
Hmm.
Um you can't just constantly ignore the actual nuance of the joke
Mm.
and incriminate someone or like
Yeah.
there's going to be too many people who are used to the fact that oh wait let's go behind the lack of context, check out the
Hmm.
context, oh it's just a joke. That I think that should become more common instead
Yeah.
of people focusing so much more on hey if you take out just this one comment, remove all the context, it looks like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Of course.
sexist. Like I think that should become the dumb thing to do.
Yeah. I've made so many sexist jokes that are so obviously
There's your incriminating
insane.
soundbite, dude. you
Yeah.
you've done
Sure. Take it. I don't give a fuck. Um.
it.
Like. Um. It's a simple premise, but it's like it's just if something is so absurd to say,
Yeah.
then most people be like, that's obviously a joke because otherwise you would be in jail almost. Like you, if
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
if
yeah,
that's
yeah,
your
yeah,
if
yeah.
that's something you would normally say, then that's just absurd.
Yeah.
Um, and everyone does that shit. Like everyone. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if you turn it in, if you write that down, if you write down I don't know. I'm trying to kind of really think of an example. Doesn't matter.
You're right. Like, yeah.
Mm. Or even like my dad makes and like suicide is not something that should be taken lightly. But it is also a quite a universal um
Yeah.
thing.
Human
So
struggle. It's a
yeah.
human disease.
So dad for years has that an everlasting bit for dad has always been like, oh well, we should just kill ourselves.
Yeah, I think I earlier in this episode I said now's the right time for me to kill myself or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I don't know. For me that always helped because I think that puts everything in yeah, the way he always said it, put it into perspective for me.
Well,
That first of all, it's absurd to get to that point.
yeah, I
Not that
think
not that suicide is entirely an absurd concept, but I like treating it absurd because it makes any thoughts like that. My first reaction to them, if they enter in my own mind, is like, "Oh, that's silly. Let's you're clearly there's something else
yeah,
going
yeah,
on
yeah.
here."
That's what I was about to say actually too.
Mm.
That some people, even just the presence of a thought like that, would
Hmm.
just make them fear that, like, become so uncomfortable they couldn't deal
Hmm.
with it.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, like you were saying, I guess the idea or the thought must have entered my brain like hundreds of times now, thousands of
Yeah.
times. Just like
Yeah.
you could always just like end it, or like
Hmm.
um yeah, you have to have some sort of strength against like giving into that, and I think humor
Mm.
is a way of demystifying it and taking the power away from the heaviness of that thought.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, some people think that laughing about something means you don't take it seriously, but like I have to disagree with them on that.
Yeah. It gives me a certain freedom for sure. Um, Also the other thing it does, which also plays into it because it kind of takes the edge off, is is it points out how absurdly small whatever problem is you're dealing with is. So it's like, oh, there's nothing on TV. All right, well, we might as well just kill ourselves. So it's like that. Okay, so it does demonstrate to your brain that like this is an absolute nothing situation. So don't worry about it. Don't freak.
Mm.
That's an absurdly small problem, but it's like if you're having it's like, man, this has been a real fucking rough week, and this does sound way darker, but nonetheless, yeah, it feels like, man, I've just had the worst week.
Mm.
Might as well just end it now. And then that saying that for me, and I'm just saying this for myself,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
does
yeah.
solidify to me that like it's gonna be fine because this week's gonna end and you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be all good.
Yeah,
So don't
yeah.
stress. Don't stress at all. So I like that kind of shit.
Well, yeah, one of my favorite, since we're going full pretentious, like, talk about life,
Mm-hmm.
um, one
That's
of my
like every.
favorite one of my favorite philosophers is like famous for the quote of the only important philosophical question is whether or not you're going to kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And he said you should wake up every day thinking, will I get up and make myself a coffee or will I kill myself? And you need to like just decide that.
Right.
Because if you decide to get up and make yourself the coffee,
Mm-hmm.
like you've started your day. You're alive, and
Mm.
you've beaten it. You've beaten that question.
Ah, right. Because yeah, I guess, and that is saying like how universal it is. Like that's
You got two
yeah.
doors.
Mm.
Keep
Two
bullying the
PL.
Joker or walk away. Yeah, what a heavy episode. Um,
Well, I guess that's appropriate for the Joker, right?
yeah, hands are just
Yeah.
kill me now.
Yeah, they're awful. Why are horses so hard? I understand why hands are so hard because we see hands all the fucking time. I'm always looking at my hands. Um, they're great, so I know when I fucked
It's
up
because
wearing them.
it's because horses have been such an important part of human culture that
Mm,
if we do them a disservice by drawing them with three legs instead of four or some, you know,
sure.
we're like totally just like shitting on them and not giving them the respect they deserve.
Hmm. I hate horses. They just freak me out. They're just massive animals, and they seem really volatile to me. And they're also really skeletal, which I don't like. And I will gladly fight anyone who wants to fight me over that. I don't like horses. But I wish we would stop racing them. I am shocked and appalled that horse racing still exists.
Nice.
Look at that. Who's gonna take me down now? Peter.
Peter Griffin.
Hmm. Hey, there we go. Look at that. That took a fucking age to do all those. But it looks great. Oh, fucking hell! I am feeling great. I'll be back in 1 second. Water.
Okay. Oh,
You better believe I'm back.
Hell yeah.
All right.
We're almost done.
Yeah, I think I am. I don't know how much more like once that gun's done, that's an image. I'm really happy with it. So
I'm super happy with this. This is probably
yeah.
like, I don't know. It's just impressive.
Yeah. All right. While you finish though, what I'll do is I'll read you headlines.
Hell yeah.
Content, baby. Hey, here's something that you didn't know you needed. Cave of crystals, giant crystal cave found in Mexico. Is it real? I'm not entirely sure. Let's read on. Um, it does appear to be. There's this giant cave. Holy shit! Yeah, god damn. Um, you know, you've seen crystals.
Yes.
Oh, actually, fuck this story. I don't give a fuck about the story. No, it's a cave full of giant crystals. It looks so trippy. It's amazing. I'll send it to you. Um, hell, you could even throw up one of the images. No, don't worry about it. I'm gonna tell you another story. I was reading this article
Good
all
start. Good
about.
start.
Thank you very much. I've been creating content for a long time. I know how. I was reading this article about the crystal industry,
Oh yeah.
which obviously big in the spiritual healing sector, and whatever, right?
Nice. You used sector like you're in marketing.
Yeah, I did. It's really messed up, it seems. So, like, almost all crystals that you can buy at these giant conventions, there's huge crystal conventions where,
Have come from like blood diamonds.
yeah, they're essentially kind of like blood diamonds. They are
Ooh.
small families harvesting, mining crystals out of the ground
Mm.
in third world countries. They get paid absolute shit all for the crystals, and there's this kind of like black market kind of operation for the entire industry. It seems it's extremely hard, extremely rare to get ethically sourced crystals. Um, Much like the coffee trade, it seems. Like the coffee trade is also similar in the way that it's only just recently that it's even been possible to trade directly with farmers from
Wow.
our civilization. It's more, almost all of coffee goes through cartels and stuff like that. And they
Yeah.
control the market. So they deal with the farmers, they get the coffee, and then they sell it off. And it's really difficult to get directly to the farmers, which means you don't know the conditions, you don't know how much money actually goes into the farmers, and it seems like this is the same for crystals, which is it's kind of hilarious,
That
simply
it's like
because
spiritually unclean to be like a
exactly, yeah, it's such a dark, dirty industry for what is supposed to be such a healing, such an organic way of approaching
a
life.
karmically clean
You try and
thing.
get in
Yeah.
touch with the earth, try and get in touch with yourself, and you don't know where these crystals are coming from. You don't know the kind of the pain behind the crystals, which is
Do most
really
of the people who rail at you about ego,
mm.
bit like you did today, are usually people who like are really unself-aware, um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like who can
Oh,
be quite narcissistic. It's
I thought you were
totally
about to
not
call
what you
me
were
out.
doing. You were obviously just talking about it. You weren't like
Mm.
you weren't talking about how fucking egoically in charge or like you weren't bragging. But most people who do talk about ego, they do go like, yeah, I've like totally conquered. Um, like they talk about their ego being like it's this really bad thing, and
Mm.
I'm like, well, I don't think you truly understand it then, to be
Yeah,
honest.
saying saying it in that way almost implies that it can only come from the ego as well.
Right. Well, only the ego cares about the accolades of the body.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like the greater self, the Atman or the Brahman or whatever.
yeah. Hmm.
That like it's not even really looking at you as an individual. It's like you're like a grain of sand on the beach. Um,
Mm.
so like it you need your ego to even care about your body and yourself. Like
Yeah,
I'm sure every self out there um, matters to like the greater self or whatever. But as an individual, you'll care about yourself the most out of any other thing.
yeah.
But yeah, what were you what were you saying before that?
No, that's good. That's a good angle. That. Yeah. What is this site? This is actually a crystal website. I didn't
Oh
realize I was
yeah.
on it.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Minerals, mineral shows, gem hunting. Let's find out what this is all about. Um, it is pretty amazing. I get why people would be amazed and be so transfixed on crystals. They're fucking incredible things to look at. They are. I love this about Eckhart Tolle's. This to me about that book because I love his book so much, and it did really help me look at my ego and see how it manifests itself in different ways that I didn't expect. Like I
And
thought it was
also
all
be able to identify yourself as separate from it.
yeah, 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 totally. The biggest line that fucked with my head and really made me step back was just he said the line that you are not your thoughts. And I realized
Yeah,
how identified I was with my own thought pattern.
dude, that sentiment is actually like I've heard it said a couple more times since I like listened to that audiobook. So I think
Mhm.
like just as a message, I think that has like gained traction just
Yeah,
recently. It's like echoing.
yeah. It's crazy when it's crazy when, how I've been so hesitant. Well, I know actually I've actually just generally criticized the idea of like the universe, like greater powers in the universe or
Oh yeah,
tremors or
because you hate the
echoes
what
and
like the track record of religions, which I understand.
the track record and the ego that's involved with all this spiritual shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
me getting into spirituality happened because of Duncan Trussell, because you introduced me to
Oh
Duncan
hell yeah,
Trussell,
cool. I'm
and listening
glad.
to him talk about it made me feel like, oh, I get it.
Like you can
This is
benefit from this without being indoctrinated. How
yeah,
cool.
without being just
Without having to suck up for it.
so
Yeah.
righteous about it. He is such a spiritual guy that he mocks spirituality more than I've ever heard anyone
Yeah,
mock
and he's
spirituality.
super practical with it too. He reduces it to like something tangible rather than just like
Yeah.
accepts these weird things.
I love that, and I love that he makes fun of the language. I think that's the biggest thing for me is the language of spirituality. I find really pretentious and really
Yeah, yeah.
hard to get past. Um, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so oh yeah, yes, that's right. So yeah, Eckhart Tolle, I loved his book, but he did start the book off by talking about how all things can transcend, and so like there's no reason for a flower to be so beautiful, but that's why it is so beautiful because it transcends. That is the transcendence of plant life. It's becoming a flower. It's delicate. It's absurdly beautiful for the purpose of being absurdly beautiful.
Wow. Yeah,
And
yeah.
humanity is capable of transcendence by allowing our ego, letting go of our egos, letting go of our thoughts, using those as tools, and just yeah, and transcending that kind of shit. So we're not bogged down on all this hatred and all this fear and frustration.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh so much the line that like, and look at crystals. I can't do his voice. Look at crystals. Like, there's no reason for a rock to be so goddamn beautiful. Why is it so beautiful? This is not how he talked, but this is how I heard it. It's like, why is that rock so goddamn beautiful? It's absurd. It's stupid. There's no need for it. but that's why it's beautiful, because it's transcended being a rock and now it's become a crystal. I was like, that's so silly, and I love it. That's fucking genius. He's funny guy. Anyway,
His like his experience of enlightenment or whatever, which was just like going into a trance
mm.
for like, I think there's like a safety on revolvers that looks something like this.
Oh wait, I was watching the stream, so I was like, "What are you talking about?" So far. Oh yeah, yeah. I see. Yes, there is.
Wow, this actually looks fucking cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good image. This is a good one to start with. It's a shame that no one watched us make it. But the stream stays up, doesn't it, as a video?
Yep, yeah.
Does that have a kill point? Like, does it go down
No,
eventually?
no.
Interesting.
It's just the live. It's doing it live, but
Yeah,
on YouTube.
yeah. It's absurd to me. Just like you can, like YouTube allows you to stream for hours on end, and they store it all in like full quality
It
and
is. It's wild. That is wild.
right.
That is something
Like,
I yeah.
and this is just streaming. What about the number of podcasts, or like the fact that you can upload a 10-hour video of a loop of a GIF that you think is funny, and YouTube's just like, fuck yeah, baby, put it up. We'll hold on to that for you. Like, that is so much data for something so pointless and stupid.
Yeah.
I love that. That's regardless of how weird these times we live in are, that is enough for me.
I've been loving the new like ASMR stuff that's been popping up.
Mm.
There was this one ASMR video which was playing Halo 3 multiplayer, but your parents are fighting in the background.
Oh, that's so good.
There's another one of like, it was like 10 hours of Vietnam War like war sounds.
Oh no.
Just like gunshots and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying all of the humor, and like that's pretty dark. The one with your parents fighting in the background. That's a dark one. And I have listened to that one. It's really like, you hear the yelling and you're just like, oh no.
Trying to find Halo, but your parents are fighting.
Halo 3 multiplayer ASMR, but your parents are fighting in the background.
Yeah, here we go. Nostalgia. Do you think this is a real fight? I think his parents are fighting in the background. He was like, oh no. But content?
Doesn't that just like empower every kid though? That like grew up with parents who fought and like ruined their like ability to feel safe and like comfortable. Like, this image is amazing. I've seen images like this on the internet and just gone like, man, like it'd be cool to be able to draw like that.
I love that I really just bullshitted the shape of the head, and you turned it into such a solid angle.
I take my inspiration from Mr. Squiggle.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, he can just take anything and like he would turn it into a thing, and I'm like, that's why I do my shapes first and then just like turn it into something afterwards. Yeah. Like, that mouth was just the first fucking like squiggle I did too, and I just like, I don't know, you just run run quicker than your brain.
I do admire that, because that was a big reason why I stopped drawing my cartoons, is because I had to have an idea before I went to the paper. And I found that really debilitating, and so I kind of just stopped doing it, which is fine, because I feel better and more creative than I've ever felt
Yeah.
now,
Yeah,
but
right.
at the same, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. Fuck it.
Fuck it, dude. Just fuck it.
Mm.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Should we add like some green hair or something?
Uh, yeah. I mean, that would make sense. He is the Joker. Makes sense. Just like the hint of green hair at the top. Maybe. It probably doesn't need it, but
Do you want to draw it?
I'm just gonna see what comes, if anything comes to mind.
I actually love the color you chose.
Yeah, I think that's a good
That's a
green.
nice one.
Let's see what. Is this about it? Yeah, so if we just had like. I just want like a ragged, like kind of raggedy curls coming down onto his face. Can't really picture what his hair would look like. Fuck it, but this would be fine. Yeah, I will do. That was a big bit of dead air. Which doesn't matter, but
Added a little tear.
cool. Hey, that guy I'm working with on, he's playing the guitar while I do my spoken word stuff.
Hmm.
That's going really well. He's a bit busy at the moment, but once that kicks off, once we get that kind of more solidified, and we can get some recordings done of it, then yeah, I'm really to doing some animation for it. If you guys work together on that.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm down. Okay. This has been good. I like a couple of times I thought to myself like, man, are we actually just really like obnoxious to listen to? Are we really like
Oh, yes, I think that is the case.
we're still in a
I
learning period. We haven't yet mastered our craft yet. How annoying is that?
We never will master it.
Yeah, but I know people who are at least like they can make an episode of something and like not come off as a douchebag. I don't think we can get away with that.
Yeah.
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 I think it's even more douchey for me to be saying this.
Potentially.
So,
I did a couple of episodes of like a solo podcast that I since have abandoned. But I talked about love, and I did not expect to do an episode on that, but
yeah,
I
cool.
did. And I thought while I was recording it, like, man, this is so pretentious. I don't know what to make of this. But then I had a couple of people who spoke to me about it and were like, I guess because they weren't. This is going to sound pretentious, but I think because they weren't really asked in our capacity in terms of like no, sorry, just because our topics are always so, we are trying to actually, we're actively hunting for topics that make us feel uncomfortable or things that we want to try and work out, you know, like we don't,
Yeah.
we're not talking about, I don't know, but basically, yeah, my point is that like if it's on our mind, if we're thinking about it,
Hmm.
then it's on other people's minds as well.
That's how I feel. Yeah.
So there's really no reason to not talk about something, because.
You're right. And if we alienate a certain kind of audience, we probably don't need that audience.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mm.
We want the like the cult fans, not the Dorito like stream only. We want the people who buy the album. We don't want the streamers.
Yeah.
But we're streamers and they'd be consuming streams. So I don't know. Sorry guys.
We've
Put you in
fucked
a
up.
little bit of a a pickle. Wait, here we go. Here we go. I know what needs to happen. Oops. Where's the redo button? There we go. There should be shadow underneath his eyebrows. There you go.
Oh yeah.
This is the amazing thing that I realize we need to do. In fact, his eyebrows should just be like thicker or something. Any artists listening to this will now be able to see how like a creation is never finished right until when it is, you know.
Yeah.
It's always being work done.
That's why I stand by. I like to release stuff. I like to put it out there because then it has to be done. You don't get to go back to it unless you're Kanye West, who for some reason will keep editing his albums.
Yeah, but not without people getting fucking furious.
Yeah. Is that hair just weird? Does it just look like
I
it's
love
not
it.
even really
No,
part of it?
I like it. I like it.
Okay. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. I might. Ah. I can't speak from experience where chest hair goes, so
Oh, nice. Because I was thinking of doing like some green underarm hairs, like as if he dyed his fucking underarms.
Yeah. I think that just subtlety, just a little subtle bit like that, and maybe a couple like sprouting out from.
Yeah.
I'll just do a little bit of a just above the lip as well.
It's a cute little. No, I'm gonna stop right there. Oh wait, technically this gun has no trigger.
Oh yeah,
Metaphor.
sure. Hell yeah, that's a fucking image right there.
Hell yeah. Okay. All right. How do we finish this? Thanks everyone.
That's the first time the audio peaked. It's just very fucking.
Thanks everyone. Remember not to bully.
Such a good peaking sound. I love peaking audio. Something so hilarious about it. Let me just bump this baby way up. See how loud my microphone can go. I guess probably Discord will fix most of that anyway.
Remember not to bully weak-looking white guys, because they are most likely to commit school shootings, which is a scary reality.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, if you're in the States and there's guns everywhere.
True. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Focus less on status. Focus less on money. Let's eat
Just
the rich.
stay real. Stay real.
God,
Keep it
sounds
real.
like a communist. And maybe I am. No. But yeah, whatever. I'm not a capitalist.
Only capitalists in our audience, please. Any anti-capitalist people in my audience will be
Yeah, you can't publicly
required to donate money.
Sure. Go back to your public. Hang on.
Go back to your welfare programs.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. There's a fucking soundbite. You're on welfare, right?
No. It's a different department that pays me.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've just ousted me as being a disgusting
As a
welfare
cuck.
recipient.
Your society's cuck.
So yeah, this artwork is actually taxpayer funded. So
I guess
we
it
should
is.
probably thank everybody.
That's amazing.
Thank you for paying taxes.
Can't thank Gina Reinhardt because she doesn't pay any. Who
Yeah.
else? Who can I not thank?
Thank you to everyone except for Gina Reinhardt for paying taxes.
This has set a really good tone for your for your new for your new streaming channel.
The long-time devoted fans already know who I am.
Yeah.
There's no surprises there.
Yeah, all of our long-term.
How is Shane
fans.
doing?
I haven't spoken to him in ages. I'll invite him. Let's just get him on. Let's
Yeah,
get
we
him on a
should totally
stream.
give him some more love.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll invite him onto a stream in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because we can draw even though they're not drawing. Like, we can still
Yeah,
talk to guests. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. It's a good idea.
Would you be up for
Alright.
doing this more than once a week?
Yeah, potentially. I wouldn't. I don't think I would like lock in that I do twice a week, but there'll be plenty of weeks when I can do twice a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool. Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. Let me. Goodbye,
Like
everybody.
with
Thank
the
you for-
oh yeah, this is not a topic. We don't need to discuss
I
this on
have
the stream.
I have been Giles, and you have been,
Wrath, I guess I would go by on here.
and the audience has been lovely. Thank you.
All two people, which is definitely me, and probably another window of me.
Okay. Bye bye.
Ciao.